So, hey boo. Today is 420, okay? And a year ago today, I used to smoke. A lot of you guys don't know that, but I'm telling you now my truths. I smoked since the 11th grade. A lot of y'all didn't know that either. But I wasn't a real smoker. Like, I used to play around and smoke only during sets and stuff until I started dating this guy I was with for a couple years. And he was like the plug or whatever on the weed. So, of course, it was just like nothing to smoke all the time, every day, all day. And he used to like give me so much, and I used to just be in the house and I would cook and clean and do hair all day, and it was beautiful, and my stress levels was down and whatever. So fast forward, it was almost 3 years after we broke up. I had still had that addiction, because I wasn't addicted to it. I would stop here and there when I wanted to because I wasn't really a real smoker. I only smoked occasionally. But after him, I couldn't. I was buying my own. It wasn't bad because I still wasn't a real smoker. It took me like 2 to 3 weeks to smoke an eighth. So y'all know, the real smokers, y'all know that ain't really nothing, but whatever. I'm just telling you all my story. So last year in like September, I was getting a whole bunch of signs like to stop smoking weed or whatever. And I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? That's how God communicate to you sometimes. Like, he give you warnings, but we know how that go. We ignore a lot of warnings and red flags. So I wasn't sure it was him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just was like, damn, this commercial said something about weed smoking is bad, woo woo. Or this person just told me they stopped smoking 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, why am I hearing this so frequently? Like, is God trying to tell me to stop smoking? I'm like, but I don't smoke like that. You know what I'm saying? I only smoke when I want to cook a big meal or clean the kitchen or the kids stressing me out. And I didn't listen at first. But then I kept getting the signs still. So I'm like, all right, now I done heard this like 15, 20 times in 2 weeks or whatever. So I'm like, that's a sign. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't dumb. Because I was already into like spiritual meanings of numbers and little signs like that. I was just starting to learn about them. So I'm like, this got to be a sign. So I'm going to just stop. So I stopped for 2 weeks. And the minute that I tried to cheat one day, I was hanging out with somebody. And I had a hookah and I had put the tobacco in there. And then we added, some smoke to that. And what had happened was the next morning when I woke up, I started hallucinating real bad. I'm talking about real bad. And I started seeing stuff like in my house, bruh. Like, I was tweaking. And I have a YouTube video that talks about a time when I was seeing spirits and stuff in my old house. And now I can't sleep by myself with the light off or none of that. Like, I'm still recovering from that. And that happened in October. Y'all, we in April. You know what I'm saying? So I told a couple people, and 2 people actually told me that they was getting signs to stop too, And I was like, well, if you getting the signs, you need to stop. Because I did not listen. And I feel like I was laced. Like, we were sold some bad weed. And when I went to the hospital, I waited like 2 weeks. Listen, I ain't sleep for 2 weeks straight. I'm not even lying. Like, I was literally dozing off, taking my kids to school, and I knew that was a problem. So I'm like, I gotta go to the hospital. And I know that drugs go out your system in so long or whatever, but I'm like, it's 2 weeks. That's just still be in my system. They should find something wrong with this so I can know what was up. So, and mind you, it wasn't mine. I always went to the same person all the time, and this time it wasn't mine. I was hanging out with somebody, so I went to the hospital and they drug tested me. They took my urine sample, whatever. They said they found it in my system. Did they say it was in my system? Yeah, they said it was still in my system, but they said they ain't find anything else. So they was like, somebody probably laced you with they get the name of drugs that I heard of them, but I don't know nothing besides weed for real. So they was like wet, and or it could have been something else. And she was like, the nurse was like, if it is wet, you probably would never be the same. And at that moment, my body started to shut down with fear. Like, yes, okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. So I'm like, dang, like, because I didn't listen to the signs, I just pretty much ruined my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mind was gone. So at this point, if my mind gone, how could I raise my children? I could barely take them to school every day. I couldn't sleep at night. I was having nightmares, real vivid, virtual nightmares, like some scary stuff. So I'm like, man, something ain't right. But I'm telling y'all this story because of it's today 420. And I know a lot of people God is calling on to talk to like he did me. And y'all ignoring him. And I know this because he talks to me now. And he gives me revelations. And he tell me to talk to y'all. And I'm not perfect. I'm still working on me. I just started this journey in October because that stuff I went through in October, the weed plus other things, led me to find him. I ran right back to the thing I knew best, and that was the Bible. Well, I didn't know it best. I knew spiritually what to save me because I grew up in church all my life. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma ain't just believe in the spirit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, he talked to her too because he had a protection over my family so real. Only 3 people we ever lost in my family, really. And 2 of them was old enough to go. So we were really covered. My whole family covered for sure. And I just feel like right now I'm taking the place of her. But instead of bringing my family along this journey, y'all my family too. So on 420, y'all celebrate this, as a national get high day. But what getting high was doing was making me lazy, paranoid, and more of a procrastinator. I could have been farther along on my journey with my career or as a parent for real. I could have, and sometimes I was so tired from smoking and cleaning and stuff. I could have been doing something more productive than that. Yeah, I just feel like it took a lot of time out of my life. And I was kicking it with the wrong people because I was smoking. But nobody really knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no secret. But if you knew, you knew. I had some friends that know. They follow me on here. They know. So, I'm just telling y'all because if he calling you and he telling you and he giving you signs, just stop. Just stop. You don't want to lose your mind behind it because when I went to the hospital, she also said it's a lot of females because men don't go to the doctor. It's a lot of females coming in, a lot, massive amount every week, being laced because some nigga or some trying to, take advantage of her. Or I even had a friend tell me that his friend got laced and his friends did it to laugh at him. But that man might not ever got his sanity back, So your circle doing it because they don't like you. And the best way to get somebody is to poison them. They did that back in the ancient times. Sorry, y'all. Then I'm acting crazy. But I just want y'all to be careful out there today. And no, you cannot tell if weed is laced by looking at it. I had 20, 30 people tell me that. Oh, I look at mine. Whatever. You cannot tell from that. This is an excuse to ignore what God is trying to tell you. But to each his own. I gave y'all the message. You know what to do with it. Be safe.